Hello and good morning,
We're live.
everybody. Hope you all had a wonderful Tuesday.
Yes.
It is Wednesday here. We're doing a little bit of studying today. So we're a little bit
Yay.
further away because I'm going to have a board. We're going old school. We're going to class. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But we also had 11 items sold
Yeah.
yesterday, so another good day of sales. So I'm
That'll
very
be at the
excited,
end. We'll talk about
and
those.
we'll cover those at the end. But before we get started, my name is Aaron.
I'm Amber.
And we
Hello.
are full-time resellers. We go live Monday through Thursday to talk shop, and today we are talking numbers. So I wanted to break down some of our most common, most often sourced items. You source,
What you
you
like.
have to sell what you like, but you also have to source what you can get.
Right.
Because it's not, so you always
What's
have to.
available. Yeah.
You can't determine. I can't go out there and just say I want to do video games, and that's all that it's going to be available.
We did try that. That was not sustainable.
It was not a full-time business
No.
income. So we're introducing the whiteboard today.
Bye-bye.
So today we're going to start with DVDs, but this is the pretext of everything. So this is as a top-rated seller,
Aim up this way. There you go.
top-rated
Like
seller,
this. There.
basic store, and then also with a 7% sales tax. Obviously, all of these things can fluctuate based on where you're at, whether you're reselling business, and also where you sell your items to, because that's where your sales tax is going to be determined on. So we're going to start with DVDs. So
Do you want to stand up and I'll hold it? So
right
you
now,
can talk it? I got it.
right now we have a $9.95 buy cost that we kind of expect on our DVDs, or sales price. We buy them for roughly about $1. Okay. Our shipping cost that we would charge the buyer on average is around the $4.68. Sometimes it's less, sometimes it's more. Video games would be a little bit higher in that realm just because we might be shipping first class. And at the end of the day, the cost of our supplies to ship these items to them is about 40 cents. For books, it might be a touch higher because of the supplies that we have to use. But just to give you, like, this is the breakdown for like a regular DVD. The fees that we would pay would be $2.51. Our total profit margin or total profit from that sale would be $6.04. In my opinion, I think we can actually go a little bit lower on DVDs because the cost and the time to process them, ship them, list them, and all that stuff really is not much. Like, I can list, if you gave me a stack of 20 DVDs, I could probably have them listed in 45 minutes.
Yeah. So then that times 45 would be what?
Huh?
Like, how much profit are we talking?
I mean, you can just, if it was,
like, what would your hourly rate be?
If each DVD was $10,
Yeah.
and you did, that's too much math to me to come up with. So you're trying to.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, what do we want our hourly rate to be?
So, like,
per
if it took
item?
me an hour, if I gave
Right.
myself an hour, you would just multiply 6 by
Yeah.
20. So
Okay.
that's what we'd be looking at.
Yeah.
So, so about $120 an hour would
Yeah,
be
so that's
right
good.
around. But I do think we can get by with less. So if we were to sell a DVD for $8.95 plus shipping, our total profit would come out to be $5.19. And I think I also like to put in that the caveat here is, like, you have to be willing to sometimes take less than what you list an
Right.
item for. So if we sold it for $8, we would still get over $4 profit.
But this is also saying that the DVDs and books that you're buying have a good sell-through rate.
Correct. Yeah, so, like, I'm not going to just, it sold one time
Right.
for blank, I'm going to buy it. I'm going to buy it with the idea that it's going to sell for this because it does on a consistent basis.
Okay, yeah.
So some of these things have caveats.
So you can't
involved.
fill your store just because you list it. You can't count that as, like, this is a good
No.
listing.
If it never sells, then
Yeah,
you
then
never
get
listed
0.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
or your
it doesn't,
negative money because you spent time on it.
it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Another area that we sell quite a few of is VCRs, DVD combos, and all those, like, big electronical items. So you can kind of, like, filter in anything. Like, we sold a CD player.
Yeah.
You know, like a boombox. Like, that would be in the same type of category, but that's kind of what we're looking at and trying to look at these specific categories. So VCR combos, if we sold them for $40 a piece, so $39.95, and the shipping cost that we charge the buyer, and then what we end up getting
to
from the
pay.
buyer. So we're not even trying to make any money on shipping, but the idea is you do pay fees on whatever the item ships
Yeah.
for. So that's why you have to make sure you include this. And I should also include that there is a website, eBay calculator. If you just type it in on Google, it'll run to you, and you can run your own numbers and run your business through this
Do you
as
want to
well.
sit down?
No,
Okay.
we're good. Cost of goods. So let's say we pick up this DVD combo player or VCR for $5. Okay, this is probably the bottom of the barrel. Our local thrift stores are starting to price them up at like $10. So obviously that would make the sales price have to go up to combat the increased cost of goods. But let's say cost of supplies $2.50. Sometimes we get a free box where we have something that was like given to us that we could use, but we did price out what a 16 by 18 by 8 would cost.
It was that wasn't the dimensions, but
Something like that.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it would be about $2.50 for the cost of supplies. So fees would be $5.42. So our total profit, if we paid $5, sold at $40, would be $27.03.
Don't buy it. That's what I'd say.
And so you got to look at the big picture, like
Yeah.
how much time and effort is going into selling that combo DVD player,
Shipping that.
space that it's taking, and all that other stuff. Is that enough profit to make it worth it? I think we would need to increase what we
Right.
would want to get for these particular players.
So now you can either get the buy cost lower or
Correct.
the sale price.
So just to give you like, if that same combo player was $5, I would want to be able to sell it for $49.95 plus shipping, and our total profit would end up being $36.16.
Yeah.
So I feel a lot better about that. If let's say for example it was my local thrift store and they were charging $11, $11.99 is what they like to charge, or $10.99 or something like that. I might be looking at more of like a $55 to $60
Right.
electronical type of equipment to make it make worth or make it make sense for us to end up doing it. And again, it comes back to how quickly is it going to sell as well. So I might be able to get by with something that I know for sure is going to sell for $50. I might do it if I know it's going to sell really quickly and be really good for the store. But if it's something that's going to take a little bit longer to sell,
Yeah.
I might bump that what I need for the sales price to be 75 or 80. So it all depends, because it's going to take up a lot of space. We've got combo units and VCRs and DVD
They're
that
not
have
small.
been there.
Like the amount of DVDs and books you can put in place of that is, you can't compare them.
So it does matter in that regard. So we would adjust up as far as what our requirements are on those electronical items. Electronical?
Not
No.
electronic.
Electrical.
Electric.
Electronic. Either one of those will work. All right, next up, shoes. So if the shoes are clean and they do not need any work done on them,
No gum.
no gum, no, I don't even need to scrub the white
Yeah.
walls or anything like
They
that.
almost look brand new.
$29.95 plus shipping. You don't come across these a ton of the time, but they do happen where you'll get these shoes that are actually in really, really good shape that don't need any work, and that's great.
Like the wrestling shoes.
Yeah, like I didn't do anything to those. If the shipping we charged for the buyer and what we got back was $8, we paid $6.50. That's what our local thrift store charges us. Our cost of supplies would be about 40 cents. We get a lot of free boxes on that, and then the shoe boxes aren't too expensive if you buy in bulk. Our total fees to eBay would be $3.69. So our total profit in that situation would be $19.36. I think they're fairly easy to list, especially if they have no extra work that needs to be done. And so in those cases, I think we can actually target down.
Can I throw a wrench in?
Yeah,
this?
go ahead.
Promotional costs.
Correct. So if we do promote, then obviously
Because
that means our eBay
shoes
fees.
normally are promoted.
Sometimes.
I know clothes are.
But yeah, so in that situation, our eBay fees might go up to say $4.50 instead of like $3.69.
Yeah.
Because we generally promote our shoes at like 7% or something when they do sell at that. So that would cut into the bottom line and profit. In that scenario, like we could go down, I still think, with clean shoes, because they don't really take that much effort. The downside is they do take room. Like they don't seem like they take up room, but we have 23 bins of shoes right now.
What is it, like a third of our shelving space in the garage is shoes.
Yeah. So it takes up some space that you need to think about. So in this situation, if we went down to $24.95, we'd be making almost $15 in profit. If we went all the way down to $19.95, and this caveat would be, these are
You don't do anything to them.
I don't do anything to them.
The quick
They're
sellers.
going to sell quickly, and I know they're going to sell. Maybe it's in the season. Maybe it's April
Yeah.
Crocs, and people are wanting this colorway of Crocs, but they're only going to pay $20. Like the ballet shoes, for
Yeah.
example. Like those oftentimes come in where you don't have to do any work. You can pick them up cheaper. Maybe I'm paying even less than $6.50. Maybe I'm paying $2.
Even like youth shoes too, like
Yeah.
$4.50.
Correct. $4.50. Yeah, used shoes would be a good example, and they don't need anything. They grew out of those shoes so quickly they couldn't even ruin them.
Forgot they had them. Now they can't fit.
That would make a situation where could make sense to sell them for $19.95 plus shipping and still be fine. The next one would be shoes that need cleaning. So this is me having to putting effort to clean them, remove gum, would make this go up considerably.
I feel like I need to be on the hunt for gum shoes whenever you make me ship a thing I hate shipping.
No, please don't. So if they need cleaning, $39.95 plus shipping. Again, if we had the $8 shipping charge, $6.50 by cost, 40 cents on the cost of supplies, our total fees would be $4.56. Our total profit would come out to be $28.49 in that situation.
So how long typically do you spend on a pair of shoes like this?
If I'm cleaning,
Yes.
I would say I kind of assembly line it. So generally speaking, I would say anywhere between 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
Is the general time frame, and then there's also other aspects to it of like bringing out the fan, setting out the towel, setting up the table, having to wait for them to dry while they're going through it, and then there are some additional supplies that would factor in here. So I did not put that in here. So the supply cost would go up because obviously the things wear out and take more time. So for all those reasons, and also just the time that is involved,
and like you don't enjoy that part.
I don't enjoy it. So I do think targeting or moving up our target on the shoes that need cleaning from $39.95 to $49.95 would make sense, where our total profit would then be $37.63 plus shipping. So these are the types of things that I think
keep in our mind.
In the off season, you can do a little bit of a deeper dive to actually look at your numbers and kind of get an idea. Like I know I fall victim to this myself, where you just think, okay, if I sold this for this, I'm going to get roughly blank.
Yeah.
Roughly blank. But then you don't really look at the big picture, take a step back, and that's why I do like the eBay calculator, because it will kind of let you know, like, okay, what about the supplies that it costs?
Right.
Okay, you do know you pay fees on the shipping.
Yeah, it points out all the specifics that maybe you didn't even remember.
So this big item that you charge $60 shipping and you sold for $80, you feel really great on, but you realize you have to pay fees on the shipping, so that $80 is actually, like, you know, because of the amount of fees that you're going to pay on the $60 on shipping can drastically cut into your profit. So it's just a good thing.
Yeah, so that's a good thing for the bigger items.
Yes. Yeah. So.
Do you want?
So one thing we did print out to look at was just our average sales cost from 2023 to 2024. We did increase, but it was very marginal. So most of the numbers stayed fairly similar. So 2023, $38.11. 2024, $39.58. So I would expect that we're going to break into well over 40 or decently
I don't
over
know.
40.
Like if we're now seeing that we're okay buying books and DVDs, which we sell a lot of.
Yeah.
And we're willing to adjust it like a whole
good
dollar.
Books and DVDs.
Yes.
Good books
not
and DVDs.
all. But I think that could drive our average sale price down.
It could. It just depends ultimately. And I think one of these things too is, so like, for example, our first item that we sold, just a perfect segue, right? We sold this for $7.50 plus shipping, but we got this in a massive bulk lot. So just by running the numbers, I can tell you we're going to make $4 profit if this was a buy cost of $1.
Yeah.
But this buy cost for this was probably more like, because this was in the one where it was like fill a bag for $10.
Yeah, okay.
So this buy cost is probably like 5 cents.
Yeah.
Like, so realistically, if you look at the buy cost down there and what we're probably actually making $5 on this DVD, even though we only sold it for $7.50 plus shipping.
Yeah.
But, you know, we also, when we buy it in bulk, like, you get your buy cost down, but then I think you also are going to lead yourself to listing below your threshold in some cases because you own it now. Like,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? Like, you have a $5 bill sitting in your pile. Are you just
Yeah.
going to say, it's
Well,
below my sales requirements on my store, so I'm not going to like, no, I'll take the $5. This is $5.
I guess there's like a different way of looking at it. Because would you rather spend all your time chasing nickels or like wait until you can get a lot?
Chasing dimes and selling nickels.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's it.
Fast, what is it? Fast nickel?
That's the one I was looking
slow
for.
dime?
Yes.
Yeah.
So our method kind of looks now like we're doing the nickel.
No, I think it's a hybrid because
Yeah.
it just depends on what category it's related to.
Yeah.
So,
But okay.
so
I guess we just have. I know you're the one that lists the most things. You like these, so it's whatever.
the makeups, I think, are.
I put them in there.
Oh, you put them in here. So I found this yesterday in our death pile just beside my listing area. So I cleaned out a lot. I got some leg room now. Look
Hey,
at
look
that.
at that.
But these are eyeshadow
Mary Kay.
Mary Kay, lot of 23, sold really quickly for $39.95 plus shipping. It's a lot of 23 of them. So they got them for less than $2 a piece, but we bought them for
I don't even remember getting
like
them.
$2.
Okay.
So like we have nothing in them. Next up we have, this is a brand of shoes that I have not found very often. So it's just, they're not easy to find very often, but Alta,
Ultra.
Altra, Altra. And these are women's running shoes, and these sold for $47.50 plus shipping, sold via promoted listing. And all I had to do was like clean the white walls.
Yeah.
So that one, for example, from a cleaning perspective, took me maybe like 2 minutes.
Well, yeah. They're used, so.
They're used.
Yeah.
But
And they still hold value. So that's a good one.
next up, another pair of shoes, and we've had these for a while. These are Vask Skywalks. And these are suede hiking boots. These sold for $28.45 plus shipping. And
Hiking stuff really doesn't sell that well for us.
no, it really doesn't.
We've gotten bags, and those are not good. They take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
and-
So yeah, but I'm glad to see them go.
Yeah.
They're in really good condition. I don't think I had to do much to those.
Right.
Next up, this was one of your recent purchases.
Yeah. This was at that sale where he was like, are you sure that that's a good cost of items? So I was like, yes, these are like boutique things. We're good.
Yeah.
This is PBJ Blues, and it's brand new with tag. It's like a sweater denim hybrid vest. It's really cute.
Yeah, and that
What do we got
sold
for
for $49.95 plus shipping.
Cool.
Sold via promoted listing. So yeah, that stop and the makeup stop have been our best like buys in
Yeah.
the last like quarter.
For sure. These are airy, aren't they? Yeah, airy leggings.
Neon yellow,
They're
and
not
they
great.
sold for
Don't
$9.49 plus shipping. Sold via promoted listing. This book was free, so this was in front of
Our thrift store.
one of our thrift stores that they actually, when they get to the end of life, they will just put them out. And
They're
we
like, these
picked
have
this
been on
up.
the shelf a long time.
So zero buy cost, $9 plus shipping
Okay.
on that book. So again, that would lead me to believe that we're making about $5.50
Yeah.
off of that. Even though we sold it for $9, after everything that we're having to do, we're only going to make $5.50 to $6,
Right.
give or take. Next up, we have a book.
Not to mention we have to pay taxes on all these things.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, correct. So what is
I'm
your?
just thinking like I've got to pay the fourth quarter taxes, so that's where my mind's at right now.
What is your marginal tax rate?
Oh my gosh.
Awesome. Fundamentals of Fluid Mechanics. This book sold $22.50 plus shipping, and we haven't had that one very long. So
Yeah.
that was a pretty quick seller. I like my little tiny things that sell for decent money. So this is a 2001 Erdl Lady Thomas Magic Railroad Train. So that is a Thomas the Train, I think. Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, it is. Made
What's
by
that for?
Erdl. So that's kind of rare that you see that.
ERTL.
$25.99 plus shipping on that little tiny train.
Yeah.
And
Is
I
this
will
in like
say,
a grab bag or something?
just we've had it for a while, but like you would always want to make sure you put something that
ruler.
small next to a ruler or something that would like
Yeah.
show you, hey, this is a quarter next to.
It's really misleading whenever you have pictures of your listings and then when you get it from the mail, you're like, what happened?
Did you shrink this
Yeah.
before you sent it to me?
I thought this was life size.
We did sell a Lancome Visionaire Advanced Skin Corrector. This is the
I
bottle.
can get that. It's right in here.
It sold for $18.95 plus shipping.
This is like our little teeny box of things that wait. This.
That little tiny thing sold $18.95 plus shipping. Love it.
There you
And our last sale of the day, which we talked about earlier, was the electronics piece. And I think that's another aspect to it too, where you have your thresholds. And like I thought about putting clothes on there.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll talk off air about it, where we'll go through the whole clothes aspect.
Yeah.
But like there's a danger with something like clothes or even electronics is you got to also price in the chances what happens if it doesn't work.
Or breaks in shipping.
Or it breaks in shipping, or it has a higher return rate, or has just a higher return. Like clothes,
They didn't
people
like
return it. They didn't
Yeah,
like
it
it. They
didn't
return
fit.
it. Now you have to do more work on that same item. So there are a lot of things that you got to really include into just the numbers. So like we've had one Blu-ray returned.
Yeah.
I can't remember any other item we've had returned in any.
We had a set of DVDs come back. I think they watched them and sent it back. Remember? They said like it
yeah.
didn't work.
Well, that was what the Blu-ray, and then I had
I
my
think it
kid
was like
watch
an
the
anime
whole.
or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
It all runs together these days. But like this one had like a stain that I didn't even notice on the front here. So I was expecting to get maybe 45 for it. So I did take $5 off, and it sold for $39.95 plus shipping. So that even happens where like
Yeah.
and in this situation, this was a thrift store where I was able to test it before we purchased it. So we know it works. So it kind of took off that aspect of it. But let's say, for example, I'm at a garage sale. I don't want to pay without knowing if it works or not,
$15.
because so many times you will buy stuff and, oh yeah, it worked last time we used it. Okay, great. That was 5 years ago and you dropped it 6 times.
It's been moved around a little.
You know, so that's why in those situations you would want to have a lower buy cost for an item like this. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Anything you want to add today?
I don't think so. This is not my favorite topic. So.
Yes.
Yeah, I got. What are we doing today? I've got a ship, and I don't know what else.
Yeah. I'm gonna probably be doing a little bit more of a cleaning. Like it's nice to have some space down here. And then I'm starting to notice some of the stuff that you slid over in my listing area that isn't supposed to be here. So it's like I uncovered it to see that you shoved stuff under my rug.
You'll never know. He's got so much crap under there.
Yeah.
Now you're finding it. What do I do with it?
So, yeah, I'm going to find some more of your treasure.
No.
That's what I'm going to find.
Yeah. I see you can handle the top first. You need to take care of that. That's a
Don't be
mess.
putting this on me. I'm good. But yeah, so today we'll have some. I'll have to find some stuff to list. Some of the stuff I was able to list yesterday was good stuff.
Yeah.
And get through it, but we don't have very much left.
But you're gonna go to the thrift store today.
Yep, go to the thrift store this morning, and then I think at some point today I have to go to the card shop with my oldest.
Oh yeah, that is today. He will not let you forget that. So good luck.
I asked him yesterday. He's like, "No, I
He
haven't
said,
forgot."
Go Lions.
Yeah, go Lions.
Oh, I think that's Andrew.
Yeah, what's up, Andrew? But I think anything
Yeah.
else you want to add before we go?
No, we'll be back tomorrow.
Awesome. We will be back tomorrow. See you then. Take care, everybody. Have a
a
good
wonderful
one.
day.